This segment of the Sports Narrative Radio Show is backed by Xena Communications. Internet, Wi-Fi, IT, cloud services, and security cameras. Get connected in your home or office today. Call or click for your free consultation in the DFW area.
You know what? Here's the deal. I've watched every game save tonight. This team is very unique.
By the way, they won 9-8.
Yes, I saw. I was keeping up, and it was they were up 8-3, so their bullpen fell apart a little bit. The worst thing you can say about this team is their 5, 6, and 7 relievers aren't very good. Like, that's the worst thing you can say about this team. But they're unique, and the thing about this team is, when Theo Epstein decided to put it together, he was able to get Joe Madden, but he went out and he got certain types of players, and there is not another team in baseball today that is doing this. But this team takes balls. They don't swing at bad pitches. When they do get a good pitch, they'll either foul it off or they put it in play. They play amazing defense. They've got Javi Baez and Addison Russell, two excellent shortstops playing all over the field. Ben Zobrist, I mean, the additions that they made were fit so perfectly, because what Joe Madden wants to do is he wants to move the lineup through. He wants to wear out the opposing pitcher, and I'm going to do it about 50 games. I'm going to go start looking at the opponents after a team plays the Cubs, how they do the next 6 games, because the Cubs wear out a team's bullpen and wear out their starting pitchers so much by taking pitches and moving runners along. I think you're going to see that there's an actual a lag, a Cubs effect, if you will, of playing this team.
Wow.
Guys, they're that good. They are going, as long as they have no injuries, they are going to break the record for the most wins. There is not another team in baseball that is anywhere remotely close. I called it last week on the show. I said they were going to go sweep Washington. I said they swept Pittsburgh. I said they'd finish the sweep in Pittsburgh and they'll go sweep Washington. And they did. And honestly, even the close games, the only game I was concerned in was the third game, because Jason Hamill was going and he pitched very well again. Before tonight's game, they had 3 of the top 5 ERAs in all of baseball. Their pitching staff is pitching lights out. And Jason Hayward's hitting under 250. Rizzo's under 250. This team's not even hitting on all cylinders. It's absolutely amazing.
Now, I did see a stat, something about Zobrist and OPS that's just stupid right now, his on-base percentage and all that.
Yeah, he went 4 for 4 tonight. He's batting over 300. I think he's at 306 now after tonight. But Again, the guy is the epitome of what Joe Madden wants. He's happy, too. You're seeing a player who wanted to come back. He's got the security. He knows the player, the coach. He's comfortable there, and he is just playing lights out, man. I'm serious. He is dialed in. It's incredible.
And you know, the part of that, obviously, you've got Arrieta, who's just been stupid ever since August.
But the last 2 games that he's been pitching, he hasn't looked as dominant as he has. He's still won. He's still 6-0. He's pitching, and that's the great thing that you're seeing from him, is he's even battling through against some, not some great teams, but some decent teams. He's still battling through and pitching really well. He's not the dominant he was at the end of last season.
Now, there's 2 things otherwise. Obviously, you talked about the sweep of the Nationals and the fact that they completely pitched around Bryce Harper, that he had 7 consecutive at-bats where he got on base without an official at-bat.
Yeah, 6 walks and a hit by pitch. That was the plan all along, and here's the deal. Again, the Nationals are built like most teams have been for the last decade. You have a superstar that is everything, and then you fill them with a couple of has-beens and a couple of wannabes and some never-will-bes. And that's what the Nationals really are. They've got Bryce Harper, arguably the best player in the game. Ryan Zimmerman, who's batting behind him, his protection is a has-been. He was a really good player. He's no longer that. And Ben Revere, another one, their leadoff guy, had got his first hit of the season during the Cubs series.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing else. They've got great pitching staff. The Nationals signed Steven Strasburg to an extension.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more on that in a second.
Their pitching staff is amazing. The problem, again, though, their bullpen is lacking, and they don't have they strike out too much.
Yep.
And that's what the Cubs have really cut down on. 6 Cubs are in the top 30 in walks.
Wow.
Think about that.
That's crazy. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was you mentioned in watching a lot of Cubs games and then going to watch other teams, that you said it's kind of like watching little bit like minor league baseball in comparison, kind of.
They are really. It's really that good. And I watch the Rangers. And Rangers I think they are a very good team. I think they are one of the top 6 teams in all of baseball, without question. Even the Rangers, as good as I think they are nowhere near a level of where the Cubs are. And again, it's not. It's an institutional thing. This is every single player off the bench. They don't swing at the first pitch. Dexter Fowler's on fire, but it's every single player. It's not 9 different guys all doing their own thing for the team. It's 9 guys all doing a team thing.
And
That's the difference.
For those of you who are wondering, Mr. Feltman is a self-avowed Cubs fan. However, I guarantee you it pains him to say all of these wonderful things about the Cubs.
Worst season of my life.
Because it's going to jinx him, and they're going to lose, and then he's going to be just pissed.
I'm seeing people in brand new Cubs gear, with the tag still on it, and I'm just like, who won the 1984 Cy Young Award? You don't know? Take off your shirt.
I'm with you.
It's scary. You know what, though? I'm glad Theo won. If the Cubs win the World Series, man, I'm going to ride off into the
I felt similar to with the Mavericks when all of a sudden all these Mavs fans showed up, and I'm like, you didn't live the 90s. You didn't.
I'm a great example of that. I totally am, because I didn't live the 90s with the Mavs. I got excited when Dirk got there, and it was Dirk and
Cuban and
Nash when those 3 guys were there. So yeah, totally get that.
Find more by subscribing to this channel and visiting us at www.thesportsnarrative.com. Join us every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Central for a live edition of the Sports Narrative Show, brought to you by Xena Communications and G&K Services.